These days, you just hear people saying, hey dude, the books in English today are so lame. Yeah, I know, bro. So lame. I mean, why don't they let us pick our own books? I have a brain, I have thoughts, I could do it. Ugh, totally lame. Yeah, lame. Hey, who turned out the lights? And the whole time, I'm sitting there thinking, oh god, I like these books. Is that weird? Because I've actually enjoyed almost all of the books that I've read in English class. Maybe it's the fact that we analyze it so I'm able to understand it better, because usually by myself, not very good at going through those lines, especially with poetry and finding the deeper meaning. All the books, all the books that teachers have read to me, that I have read because they were assigned for class, or that like teachers recommended to me and then I read, I've liked all of them. And I don't know why other people don't either. Why wouldn't you give them a chance? I think people should think more positively going into a book, especially if it's a book in English class, because obviously it must be good for the teacher to be assigning it to you to read. Sometimes you're not going to like it, and sometimes it's going to be about a subject that you think is boring, but you have to give it a try first. You can't just go in and say, I don't like this book, I'm not going to read it because the teacher assigned it to me, so it obviously sucks. Sure, I agree. Sometimes English teachers seem to go really deep into all the hidden symbols in books that sometimes you're like, is that really there? Are we just overanalyzing something that maybe the author just wrote? But at the same time, it's good to go through a book and really think about what you're reading, and that's what English class is all about. I think it's good that teachers assign books, because then it forces students to broaden their range of literature. I used to only read fantasy and realistic fiction. Those are my two categories I only read. But then, because teachers had assigned to me Fahrenheit 451, like a science fiction book about utopian societies and whatnot, and like The Giver, I loved that book. Great Gatsby, so interesting, such a comparative literature piece. The Crucible, about a historical event that actually happened, talking about the Salem witch trials. I loved those books, and I never would have been exposed to them if it was not for English class. Plus, it's good to read. Reading increases your vocabulary, and then your reading speed gets faster the more you read, which is good for when you take those SATs. It puts your brain to work instead of killing brain cells like when you're watching TV. That's why it's so mind-numbing, and it makes your eyes turn red, and it makes them hurt, which obviously means that you're just going to need like glasses or something, which is bad, and reading does not do that. And then it also widens your imagination so that you can think of new possibilities, think in a new perspective, be able to relate to people better and empathize with them, and just see a whole different world. So why not read? Why not go to English class and just have some fun? Reading is simple homework. So read those books, kiddies!